Sony has yet to commit to a 10-year deal offered by Microsoft to keep Call of Duty on the PlayStation, but Nintendo said, we'll take it. However, the Activision Blizzard acquisition will have to make it past a new FTC lawsuit before that can happen.
And the Game Awards just took place. Tons of world premieres, tons of new announcements. We're going to go over all this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. Gaming News Weekly is back. We are the best weekly video game news show out there, bringing you all the biggest news in the video game industry. Every single Monday, you can find us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services, everywhere, talking about all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. My name is E-Rock the Red. I am joined every single week by this dude right here, Full Clip. What's the haps, buddy? How are you?
Yo, what's up? Doing good. I'm excited. We got a big news week. Big news week.
Let's just talk about it. So the Game Awards happened. So we had to delay our usual recording time where they just happened. We're doing it's an afternoon. So I got my coffee as opposed to my regular beer. It might change the dynamic of this show a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, lots of stuff happened. But first of all, we got to talk about, everybody wants to know, you playing anything new and exciting this week?
Well, if the people got to know, I got to tell them. Need for Speed Unbound. I picked that up. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, figured out how to make it work
jealous.
with pips. So, good deal. Have you played it, or are you thinking about playing it?
I want to. Yeah, I was just reading some reviews. The reviews are loving it. It sounds awesome. It sounds like a lot of fun. What's your take?
I like it. The biggest criticism I see a lot of people having, saying they won't buy this game until they're able to disable all the effects and things like that. I think it blends together really well. I really do like it. Ultra realism on the cars in the world. Then you've got like a cell shaded character, and then the smoke effects and things like that happen on your car. They're not in the way. And I like this sort of style to the graffiti tag sort of thing. But also, it improves upon certain things that were in Heat, Need for Speed Heat, that came out in 2019, I think. It takes some of the best qualities there, but also it doesn't feel like it's as fleshed out as Need for Speed Heat was.
Okay.
Yeah, this still has that Assassin's Creed style, smash all the things, find all the things, do all the jumps and things like that all over this open world map. But it feels a little bit different, where Heat had online and single player as one experience. This, I had no idea until I got onto multiplayer after playing some single player. It's you got to start a new character, you got to pick a new starting car.
Oh, weird.
Separate experience. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I think it works out well. And I'm going to enjoy playing both of those modes and on their own time.
It's interesting that people are upset about the effects in it when that's kind of one of the features of the game. There's so many other racing games out there that don't have this kind of interesting style. So, to me, it's weird that is a detractor for some people. But people are weird, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty sweet. I'm definitely jealous. I was watching some videos of it. I was like, man, I really want to get this. I'm playing so much. I'm not playing so much stuff right now, but my backlog is already, dude. I haven't. This was a very busy week for me. I should preface that. So I didn't get to play much. I played a ton of Marvel Snap, which is still eating up all of my time. I got the Silver Surfer, and I've been rocking that Silver Surfer deck, and I'm in love, dude. I'm just, it's so much fun. And then just some Modern Warfare 2 played, and then still not as much. I love the Marvel's Midnight Suns, and I didn't get a chance to play much of that at all. I played a little bit one night. I think it was last weekend, and I was pretty drunk, and I was playing late, and it was I was falling asleep, dude. It's not one of those games where you could play when you're a little tired or whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I gotta get back in there, try some stuff.
So what's up with the Marvel Snap seasons? Are they changing every single month? Because it seems like a really short battle pass.
It is, yeah. Every single month, it's a new card, new $10 battle pass. It gets you the card and a bunch of other stuff. So like you could pick and choose if that card kind of seems like it's something you want to play with, because otherwise if you don't pay for the battle pass, it is available then in the regular card collector system after I think 2 months.
Oh, okay.
So, but even then, it moves up to like one of the highest pools, the highest series. So it's a little bit more difficult to get. So if there's ever any interest in wanting to try like this one, I wasn't going to do the battle pass. I did the first two, and then I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I saw like some people playing it with the Silver Surfer. I'm like, that looks like a lot of fun. So I'm like, let me play it. To me, it's like instead of getting lunch one day, like I'll just eat like I'll eat like a ramen, and then bam, it's paid for. You know, it's $10. It's still like $10 a month. That's a lot for this if you look at it that way. But I don't plan on getting every single one of them. But especially right now, because I'm so deeply like entrenched in this game, I'm fine with paying the money. You know, it's a free game, and you know, I'm $30 in now, so.
That's a good way to look at it, I think, because if you don't want that card, you just don't have to pay for that battle pass, and we don't get ads either way. That's the thing that really shocks me about this game. Like even if you don't pay for the battle pass, I've never seen an ad in there.
No ads. It's like it's not in your face about it. The prices. So they started adding like these bundles where you could buy like these cards with like skins and avatars, and they're like incredibly like super high priced, and it's like people aren't understanding that those are for the whales, the people with a ton of money that want that stuff, and them buying it. Sure, that's going to support this game. It's going to keep it ad free, keep the stuff out there. It sucks when it's something that I really want to see it like $80-$100 for like these like stupid little cards, but I get the point of them. So reconciling that it's free to play, but I do want to pay a little bit of money, but I don't want to pay $60 for some cards. It's tough, but I'm not losing any sleep about it. So
and just so nobody gets the wrong idea, that's just for variants of the cards that are already in the game. Is that right?
Right. Yes. Or like instant access to them. They're available in the collector's pool, and you have different ways of getting them. But if you buy a variant, it automatically gives you the card as well. So it's another way of getting that card. So normally this is where we would move into our new releases from last week. Nothing good came out, so we're saving ourselves the time because we got a lot to talk about specifically with the Game Awards. So shall we just jump right into the news?
Let's go.
Let's do it. This is our news of the week. All right, so the Game Awards just happened, and a lot of things happened. I got 3 pages of notes. We're going to try to run through it so it's not super long, but this is basically the order that it happened, and then we'll talk about the big shit as it comes out. So it started at 7:30 with the pre-show. Some good announcements on the pre-show. We saw first big one, Dead Cells. They're getting the Castlevania DLC. You ever play Dead Cells?
No.
It's always on my list. It's like a platformer type game. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But now, especially fans of Castlevania, they got this DLC. It's adding a bunch of stuff to it. It comes out in 2023. And then one of the first awards I was really excited for, Mobile Game of the Year. Let's bring it back. Marvel Snap, baby.
Yeah, I think we both predicted that one, right?
We did. Yep. That was one of our choices, and well-deserved. Speaking of mobile games, they then announced that Vampire Survivors, which we talked about quite a bit recently, is also right now free on mobile. So you could go play it there and do it. It's free on mobile. Like, I don't know what that looks like as far as ads and stuff like that. I haven't tried it, but it's an awesome game, and now it's free.
Yeah.
Another mobile game announced, Valiant Hearts. Coming to mobile. That's like a game it's like a cel-shaded game about war. I played that years ago. It's been out for a long time, but that's coming soon. They announced that Returnal is coming to PC sometime soon, the popular PlayStation 5 title. And then they showed this amazing trailer for a Hellboy game. Did you see this one?
Yeah.
It's a web of weird, I think it's called, and it's like this cell shaded trailer. It looks just like the comics. I was really excited about that one. Don't know what it is, but I'm excited. Now that's the theme for most of these trailers. Like, so many of them were just like cinematic trailers or like a tiniest little snippet of gameplay. So there's like so much that I will say, no idea what that was, but it looked cool. And this is one of them. Post Trauma. So another premiere. This one looked weird. It was like this spooky first person game coming to console and PC. And then one of my highlights. Did you see this trailer for Viewfinder? It's like a puzzle
I have to find which
game.
one that was.
Yeah, so it's like they show like a camera taking a picture, and then the picture like becomes like 3-dimensional, and you have to like move it to like fit it in another place, and it opens up like a door. Like, it was nothing like major. It wasn't a AAA title or anything, but I love perspective-based like puzzle games, dude.
Yeah.
So this one like was calling to me for sure. This one, they just announced it for PS5 too. I don't know if it's going to be on anything else, but that's what showed up at the end of that. So I was excited. That got my first star of the on my notes here. So that one looks a lot of fun. And then Among Us Hide and Seek is out now. You going to get back into Among Us? Do a little hide and seek action?
I actually never played Among Us.
You didn't? Oh
No.
man,
Did you?
Everybody did. No,
Yeah,
me
for a
and you
minute
were,
everybody
the only
did.
people. Yeah, we're the only people in the world to never have played Among Us. And then the last thing they announced on the pre-show, they showed Street Fighter 6. They showed a bunch of new fighters coming out for that, and then a release date of June 2nd. So, yeah, so that was the pre-show. And then we get into the main show, the big things happening. The first person to come out, did not expect, Al Pacino.
I don't think that he expected to be out there. From
He
the way
had
it went.
no idea what he was doing there. He was like, did I miss a turn somewhere?
Yeah.
He couldn't read the teleprompter. It was rough. So this led into I think the other like rough moment of the night was what the hell is his name? The dude won for
Christopher Judge.
Judge won for best actor for the game for his voicing of Kratos, something like that, in God of War. And he talked, how long did he talk? It was like 8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he just kept going, and he was so oblivious, dude. Like, it was so weird. It was very cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough watch.
Yeah.
But, he had his moment. And they made some jokes about it throughout the night. Like, Jeff Keighley kept, like, saying, like, oh, we're going over. Or, like, he was giving away more Steam Decks.
Yeah, like in the hierarchy of awards, I figured that best performance in a video game is pretty high up there. And it is the first, like, big award they gave out. So I kept waiting. Like, I know they're giving him time, and waiting for that, like, Oscar-style music to start playing him off the stage. And it just took a very, very long time for that to happen. And he kept going when it did happen.
Oh, man, it was rough. It was so rough. He was just, And he was going so slow. It wasn't like he was, like, he had a purpose. It was like, okay, this is, you're mine now. Like, All right, enough about him. All right, their first world premiere of the evening was started up, Supergiant Games, and I'm like, oh, here we go. They announced Hades 2. This is with a female character, and it's going to be in early access in 2023. So, first thing I thought, I was like, man, I need to get back into Hades. Is this one you ever played?
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
You should play it, dude. It was like Game of the Year like 2 years ago. It's basically just it's like a roguelike where you just go through, you play as like a god and you get powers of gods, and then like you die and you go back through and you gotta like try to. It's an amazing game. I haven't given it as much time as I should, but now that Hades 2 is coming, I gotta get back in there. I'm gonna go back, especially now that I got my Steam Deck. I think, and I think it's 50% off on Steam until the 12th too. So check it out. Next up, we saw a trailer for Judas. This is from Ken Levine, the creator of BioShock. This game looked crazy. It was like this insane like first-person game where the guy's got like powers and stuff. Like, this is one I was like, dude, you got Ken Levine's hands on it,
Yeah.
I'm in. A lot of these, like a lot of games looked similar where there's like powers, first person mode, and it's like a little creepy. That seems to be like the vibe that's happening these days in video games, because there were a lot that looked similar. Next up, we got Bayonetta Origins. It's like a prequel to Bayonetta, where they're little kids in like this weird sprite chibi world.
Now, is that the way the Bayonetta games usually like play? Okay, a different style.
No. Very different. I was like, actually wrote down WTF because I'm like, this is nothing like Bayonetta fans, but it's like a role playing game. It looks interesting. Then they talk a little bit about Destiny 2. They showed the Lightfall expansion. Destiny's still happening, I guess. You know, that's pretty crazy it's still going strong.
Yeah.
I remember playing that years ago. Next up, we saw another trailer for the Suicide Squad game. Super funny trailer. Got me really hyped. Yeah. And then to get even more hyped, Batman comes in and he's like, I am Batman. And it's the voice, Kevin Conroy's voice, rest in peace. And they're saying this is his last recorded Batman work. And it was like, dude, it gave me like chills, dude. I was super excited. He's the best. I mean, next to maybe Christian Bale, his voice is the voice I will always think of when I think of Batman. Like, it's so good.
So I saw from a really reputable source, a meme on Facebook, that this is you're fighting against the Batman from the Arkham series games. Is that true?
It's possible. Like, so I guess in this game, the Justice League, they're all bad. They've got something happened and they're all bad. And I mean, it looked like that Batman. It definitely looked like that version of him, you know. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. May 26th, 2023 for this one. That is high on my list of excitement. A game called Party Animals. It was a very funny trailer. It looked kind of like
Gang Beasts.
Yes, Gang Beasts, except with tiny, adorable animals. It looked like identical to Gang Beasts, the movement and everything like that. And then next, there was an award, Best Adaptation. I know you were a little upset.
Yes.
Arcane won for Best Video Game Adaptation. You were, I heard you in the crowd. You were in the crowd with your Cyberpunk Edgerunner sign.
Yeah.
They didn't listen. Next up, we got a world premiere for the new Star Wars game, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is set 5 years after the original game. This is set to come out March 17th, 2023.
Oh, yeah.
This game looked good.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but this game looked really, really good.
Really does. Like the combat, lightsabers, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Really good trailer for it as far as like gameplay goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and then as I was like looking into it more, being like not a Star Wars guy, I miss all these ones. But when then I saw it was a sequel, I was like, oh shit. Maybe I should check out that one because the fighting and stuff it looked like a lot of fun. Next up, we got a trailer for Earthblade. This is from the creators of Celeste, and it's like a side-scrolling platformer. It looked beautiful. This one's set to come out in 2024. Dune Awakening. I was surprised to see this there. I'm a big fan of the movies, the Dune movies. I've never read the book, but I've seen the movies now, like the new ones. Yeah. I have seen the first one, but the new ones are like some of the best shit ever. I've watched them like 5 times. Well, I say them, but you know.
Yeah. That explains the Timothy Chalamet tattoo I saw.
Uh-huh. Dude, I got that Timmy Shales. But yeah, this is like an open world survival MMO is what everything it said in the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-alpha. Right now, you could sign up for the beta. I'm definitely going to sign up. I don't know like what the gameplay is going to be, but being a big fan of the Dune world right now, I was excited. I saw they came out with the Dust Wars or whatever, and it's like a PC like strategy
like
military
RTS.
sim. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not going to play that.
This looks totally different. This gave me vibes of World of Warcraft. Seeing like the bad guys, the minions and things. I thought this was a World of Warcraft expansion or something at first,
Mm,
but yeah, that was a really good trailer as well.
yeah, absolutely. Next up, Forspoken. They showed some of that and announced that a demo is available right now on PlayStation 5. So I immediately downloaded that. Haven't tried it yet, though. My plan was to try it before we recorded, and shit got in the way. But keep an eye out for my full playthrough coming real soon to Fruit Lab. Yeah, I'm excited. That's been one that I've been looking forward to for a while. So like to finally get a chance to see what this game is all about, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Next up, Kojima in the house. We got announcement Kojima games. We see a girl with a baby. I'm like, man, this looks a lot like Death Stranding. And it was Death Stranding 2 coming out. And I was like, shit, another. So let's see. The Game Awards, more than anything, filled me with anxiety of the games that I have never played before and need to, because this shit looks good, man. I feel like I got FOMO that I'm not playing these games that everybody loves. So I don't know what I need to do with my life. I need to like quit my job or something.
I think so. Yeah, I'm glad we got an answer though to what Kojima. We thought he was going to make this announcement back at the Japanese Games Festival, and now we have it though.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2. A friend of mine is a big fan of Death Stranding. Him and I were texting during the awards, and he was like, you got to play this game. He's like, it's a long game, and it feels long, but he's like, it's amazing. Like, the experience is like, it's really one to like experience. The experience is one to experience. Couldn't have said it better. So yeah, that's it's on my list, dude. It's on my backlog, and it's available. It's on the PlayStation Plus, like whatever, the free games. Like I have the ability to go play it. But next up, Immortals of Avium. This is like a magic shooter game. I don't know. It looked really cool. I put a star next to it to find out more. Couldn't find out anymore. But it's on. It's high up on the list because it's got a star. That's how you know. It's got a star. It's high up on the list.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on. Tekken 8. We got some in-game footage. We saw the fighting. It looked like Tekken, nothing outrageous. People were excited. It's the return of Jin Kazama's mother, who, spoilers, died in Tekken 2. So, yeah, big things are happening in Tekken 8.
But between the fighting games that were revealed that night, this was probably the coolest looking one, most likely to pick up for me.
Yeah. Street Fighters, that had the style. I don't know about that style of that Street Fighter. It looked a little too like cartoony, I think. Tekken, I've always appreciated. They got the wrestlers in there, the dudes with the cat faces.
Yeah.
Love them. Next up, Nightingale. This looked like it gave me like some Portal vibes. It was like a survival game.
Yeah.
This
like is one. Portal. We saw a trailer for this maybe last year's Game Awards.
Really? I don't remember it.
I've been into it since then. I haven't looked up a lot of information on it, but I'm interested to see where that goes. Because it's either like going to be a flop because nobody hears about it to play it, or it's going to be really cool. Because all these things that they're promising look decent.
I like any games where I go into portals to alternate places. So I'll take it. And then we got a nice sizzle reel from Game Pass, and the whole time I'm like, man, this game looks good. I'm like, fuck, I'm telling you, I gotta quit my job. So a lot of good games on Game Pass. Baldur's Gate 3, got a new look at that. After 2 years, it's been in early access. It's finally coming out August 2023. So if you're excited for that, August is when. 2 years in early access. You're probably sick of the game by now if you've been playing it. Wayfinder. This is like another team fighter game. It's coming to PlayStation and PC. That was the other thing. We saw a bunch of like kind of team games coming out. I don't know. And then I don't know about this. I'm excited to hear your take on it. That game company's new game, Sky. Now, I don't know if it's a game, but this is when they brought Aurora out. Remember the singer? And they're
Yeah.
like, and then it was Aurora and Genova Chen. He's like the head of that game company, and they're like, we're gonna have this free concert, and it's like this experience that brings everybody together. And then they show footage from Sky, and it's like these weird little sprites like standing around with candles or something, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go to this concert. I don't know.
Was this the one that was supposed to happen like right after the Game Awards?
Right after, yeah. So I don't know what it is. Like that game company's always been that way. They did, Flow and Flower, and it's always just kind of like weird stuff that's kind of supposed to spark some sort of emotion, and that's what they're going for here. But until I get in there and experience it, it didn't spark much for me.
Yeah.
But I do like Aurora, and she seemed very weird. Next up, speaking of popular female singers, Halsey came out. I'm a big Halsey fan. How do you feel about Halsey? Let's get your take.
Honestly, I thought they said Hosier.
So oh my God, that was later.
A little confused. Yeah.
Or maybe that was earlier. Hosier was on at some point. And I did not write his name down at all. That was skippable.
Was that him? Because he said that it was the Game Awards Orchestra or something like that, but maybe just
it was
both together.
Hosier with the Game Awards.
Okay, yes, that makes a lot more sense.
Yep. But yeah, Halsey much more attractive than Hosier, and she sang the song for the Lilith for Diablo 4, and that was. So I've been really back and forth about my feelings about Diablo 4. I don't know if it was just Halsey, because I'm a big Halsey fan, or if it was the footage that they showed, but I was immediately like, I fucking cannot wait for Diablo 4 to come out. I was so hyped after this, man. It looks fantastic. And we got a date, 6/6/23, Diablo 4. And then, to bring me back down to earth, soon after that, I saw like a little infographic of the packages that they offer. You could, for $70, you could buy the base one. It comes with, whatever. For $90, you could buy a slightly better package. It comes with the Battle Pass and like other stuff. And then for $100, you get this with Battle Pass plus like an extension of, a certain level of the Battle Pass. And I'm like, they're going to monetize the shit out of this game. And it's happening already. And it really, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
And should we be surprised after Diablo Immortal?
No. And that's like, I was hopeful because it's a full $70 title.
Yeah.
You're paying $70 and I get, sure. There's a lot of games like that have a battle pass in them for people that want more cosmetics and stuff like that. But the idea with Diablo, it's a looter game. Like it's always been about finding the cool shit by playing the game. And it's not about finding the cool shit by getting the battle pass or whatever, So I don't know. I will reserve my judgment until it gets closer and we get it a little bit more hands-on, because it looks just like the Diablo that I've been wanting to get back to. So yeah, we'll see. I just really, really, really hope that it's not like just overly monetized and just,
Yeah. Yeah, awesome cinematic trailer. I got to see gameplay of it though.
Yeah, the cinematic trailer was great. They did show a little bit of gameplay. I don't know if it was at that one, but I did see somewhere I was like, okay, it looks a lot like, the Diablos that I've grown to love. So, yeah, 6/6/23. The best multiplayer game came out. Big surprise there. Splatoon 3. No one picked that one. That was a shocker.
A lot of Nintendo fans in the audience, I guess.
For sure. I mean, there were, like, when they were announcing, like, nominees for these, the Nintendo, like, it was a lot of noise for Nintendo stuff. Next up, we get the Horizon Burning Shores DLC. This comes out April 19th, 2023. This one looks cool because it's in, like, Los Angeles. They're at the Hollywood sign and everything's getting, like, smashed up. So that one was really cool. And then the cast of Last of Us came out, the game and the new show. And they fought to the death. And that was cool. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go see who won that battle. And then Best Action Game. Speaking of Nintendo, that's a Nintendo Bayonetta 3. That was a big surprise too. Best Action Game. You and I were wrong on both of those.
Yeah.
And then this next section coming up, man, it was one after another I was really excited about. First up, Bandai Namco Blue Protocol. Now, this one, it's partnered with Amazon. So, Jeffrey Bezos out here giving us this dope-looking role-playing game. It looks like an anime, plays like a role-playing game. Coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox X and S. This one looked awesome. It looked kind of like, you ever play any of the Tales? Like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of whatever, all the other ones.
No.
Berseria. It's like, they're like multiplayer turn-based role-playing game type things. Well, I think they're less turn-based now. But anyways, this game reminded me a lot of them. There's 5 different classes to choose from, and there's magic and fighting. I was into this one. And I'm not a big anime guy, but this one looked good.
Yeah. From Amazon Studios, I think they did New World. Have they done anything else like big like this yet?
No. This is like, not that, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention, but I was really surprised when I did see that Amazon is on this one. So yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I do know it's like an online role-playing game. I don't know if it's like an MMORPG or what that means, but it was beautiful, very colorful, and Amazon, man. What did you were playing that New World or whatever for a little bit, right?
Yeah, played it for a little while. It's good, but you get to a certain point where you got to have like a party and more of a single player lone wolf.
Yep, and that's how I kind of expected this one to be. So this one will kind of be based on if I could, find people to play. And then Remnant 2, the trailer. And I was like, what is this? It looked like Dark Souls with guns. Big fan of that one. It's a 3-person co-op shooter. And yeah, I was like, it was so reminiscent of a From Software Dark Souls game, but with giant dope guns. That one comes out 2023. Now, I've never even heard of Remnant, let alone Remnant 2. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. And then this next trailer, we see like this crazy like alien attack and like all this shit's going down. And then at the end, they're like, yo, you're a transformer. And then it's like first person Bumblebee or something. And I was like, what?
I did not expect that to be Transformers at all.
No, but it looked awesome. And if it's from like the first person, like if you're playing as a transformer and I don't know if you like could like turn into a car and then it's a racing thing and then you jump out.
Cool.
And like, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to expect. They did say like, I was reading about it afterwards that it's like unlike anything that you've played from Transformers. So, it sounds like it could be cool. Then the next trailer, I was like, oh my God, these trailers are amazing. And I'm watching this thing and then they're like, for MetaQuest, it's a game called Behemoth. And I was like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a MetaQuest.
I saw a couple of ones for MetaQuest. Did we have more than that?
Maybe. And
there was one where like you're climbing something, or I remember like you're holding a chain or something with your hand, and you're like whipping it back and forth and killing the bad guys.
Yes, I do remember that one. That one didn't strike me as much as Behemoth did, so I didn't. I don't think I wrote it down. Another cool looking game, Banishers. Now this was just a cinematic trailer. There's a tiny little gameplay at the end, but it was like an action third person game. Definitely looked really cool. Another one though, where if you kind of put it in a mix with all of the trailers we've seen, they kind of all have a similar vibe. So, one of these is going to come out on top and only time will tell. But another one looked, again, kind of similar. Warhammer Space Marine 2, but this one looked dope. This guy, this giant hammer just going around smashing everything. That one comes 2023 to PC, Xbox X and S, and PS5. Um, Crash Bandicoot came in with like the cringiest intro ever. Like, I don't know. So none of the jokes were really landing at this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Keegan Michael Key was up there at one point, like trying to make jokes, and like nothing. No one laughed at anything. And then Crash Bandicoot like drops in from this like cable, and I was like, oh, here we go. He's gonna be silly, and it was the worst. Like he made a joke about like other people on Zoom or whatever being like muted.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, dude, it was bad, man. I was like, oh, poor Crash Bandicoot. And then they showed this game, and it was not what I expected. I don't know what I expected. I don't know if I just expected just like a base Crash Bandicoot title, but this is like a team-based multiplayer game called Crash Team Rumble, where there's like mini games or something. I don't know, or shooting. There was like a bunch of weird things happening at once, where you got to collect all the fruit. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Looks like, I mean, maybe their answer to Mario Party or something like that.
Yeah. It looked like kind of that mixed with like, I don't know, like an Overwatch or something. I don't know. It was all over the place. But that comes out 2023. But yeah, it's like a 4v4 thing where you got to get all the good, yummy fruit. Like, I know there was Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
And people that grew up with Crash know the characters, but I think like, I don't know, are they strong enough to have a whole game like this? We'll see, I guess. We'll see. Next up, I'm watching. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's the Elden Ring DLC announcement. And I was like, yep, it looks just like Elden Ring. And then, no, it was not Elden Ring. The Lords of the Fallen. I was shocked by this. Dude, it looked just like Elden Ring-ish.
Yeah, if not for like that crown of thorns or whatever it is that kind of gave it away that it was a Lord of the Rings thing. I'm not a big fan of that lore or anything, but
no, this is Lord of the Fallen, dude, not Lord of the Rings. It's a different
totally
thing.
Separate.
It's a different thing. But this one, it's I don't know. It looks really cool. But yeah, I know. So there was a Lord of the Fallen that came out in 2016 that was kind of a bust. Now this is kind of a reboot of that. I don't know. But then they came back big with this one, Crime Boss. Do you remember this one?
I remember the reveal talking of like jokes that didn't land.
This was Michael Madsen came up, and again, Michael Madsen, like, I don't know, he seemed out of place again. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
A couple of security guys.
Yeah, but then they're talking about this cast and like all the people that are going to be in it. I don't remember. Oh, Danny Trejo, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Chuck Norris, Danny Glover.
Yes. Oh, dude, I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, that's all I need to know. It looks really cool.
Do you know if there's previous entries to this Crime Boss? Is this a series?
I think this is a brand new IP.
Because it seems like they're going for this Grand Theft Auto kind of thing. And it's like, well, if they're not going to make it, we're going to make it. Yes.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it's like, a B movie, like Grand Theft Auto type stealth action, something or other. And if it's like kind of can continue with this tongue in cheek kind of where it makes fun of itself for being like a, like a straight to DVD movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna love it. I'm absolutely gonna love it. I mean, Chuck Norris and Vanilla Ice. What the fuck is this? So yeah, that one, it got a star next to it from me. And then we get the award for Best RPG, Elden Ring. You and I both called that one. We got to look at the raids coming to Modern Warfare 2. I've never done a raid on Modern Warfare. They've had them in previous titles, right?
Not the ones I played.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe this is something new. I don't know. It looked cool. though. It looked like something I'd like to try. It looked like, so it's like a multiplayer, like a PV, I don't know, PVE type situation. I don't know, where it's like a campaign. I don't know. Looked really cool though. And then Elden Ring won again for best game direction. Next up, we get Keanu out there. He's not directly out there, but he's talking, and I was like, "Oh, what do we got here?" But he was there. He introduced Idris Elba is going to be in the new Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC is a new character. So yeah, a lot of big names in that. And then the big one, we see Bandai Namco, we see From Software, and some giant robots. Armored Core 6 is coming. Fires of Rubicon is what it's called, coming to all systems in 2023. Now, as our resident mech Gundam guy, what was your take on this one here?
That trailer was awesome, and I see that kind of echoed across the internet right now.
Yeah.
I think people are going to be interested in this, and it's probably going to be a lot of people's first of the Armored Core series or like giant fighting mechs in general.
Yeah.
I'll wait, see what the gameplay looks like, see if it's more like FPS and not RTS, and we'll see.
Yeah. Have you ever played the Armored Core games, any of them?
It's been a long time, like Windows 98.
Okay. Yeah, I was just talking about it yesterday. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what era they were. I mean, obviously there's been 5 of them prior to this, so probably throughout. But yeah, no, I've never played them. And then I was thinking, I was like, oh, now that I've got like a way to emulate, maybe I could look into that. So yeah, I might have to check one out. If there's if anybody out there knows which one I should check out, should I start at 1? Should I go? I don't know. But I definitely want to be prepared because I'm all in just based on this trailer. I don't care what the gameplay is. Like, it got me fired up, dude. I was so excited when I saw this. And then a couple more. This is almost to the end here. Wild Hearts. They showed some more footage for that. That looks like kind of Monster Hunter-ish. And then Final Fantasy 16. We got a trailer for that. Release date June 22nd, 2023. And then it finished with the Game of the Year, Elden Ring. And then your favorite part, the thank you speech afterwards.
Yes.
So,
right, have you heard any of the story on that since?
No, I know he got arrested.
Yeah.
So for those of you not aware, some kid like got up on stage somehow and said something about his Orthodox rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yeah. That's basically it. He kind of walked up behind the team from Elden Ring and waited for them to be done, and then just made a troll speech at the end.
Yeah. So it was unfortunate that the Game Awards ended that way with this little douchebag up there.
Yeah.
But whatever. He got arrested, and hopefully that's all there is to it. But let's go over real quick the other awards. Action adventure game went to God of War. Fighting game Multiverses. Best indie game went to Stray. Best ongoing game Final Fantasy 14. And then best mobile game we talked about went to Snap. So out of the ones that we guessed on, you got 4 out of the 10 correct. I got a 7 out of 10, baby. You owe me something. Something we'll talk about off camera.
So
nothing sexual.
Who wins
unless
your
you want
award?
it to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
Who wins your award for best appearance here between Crash Bandicoot, Al Pacino, Animal,
Animal,
the Piccolo playing guy?
I gotta give it to Al Pacino because he couldn't read the teleprompter, no clue what he was doing there, and then he was forced to stand there for an additional 10 minutes wondering, what the fuck did I get myself into while this dude was talking?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, big fan of that.
I feel like there's some squashed potential there with Keegan-Michael Key's out there on stage. Like, if he would have got a laugh, and maybe it's just the audience, but I don't know. Was it that funny of a joke? The difference between mushroom cap and a hat? Yeah. Yes.
It was the worst joke. I'm like, I hope he didn't write that because it didn't make any sense. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
new writers.
I do think it's interesting. Like, I don't know about Animal from the Muppets. That was just weird. The Crash Bandicoot thing, who do you expect to see at a place like this? But seeing Al Pacino, seeing Keegan-Michael Key out there on stage, and the music performers being pretty well known as well. I think that lends legitimacy to all of this. Hopefully, if they do it next year, it's a little more well recepted, though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a fantastic award show, top to bottom. I do think it needs to get tightened up a little bit, um, just because it did end up going for a little while. I don't remember exactly how long. It was over 3 hours, I think. But yeah, it was good. They had everything that I wanted to see. I'll tell you one thing that was very conspicuous by their absence. Not one single Microsoft Xbox title was shown at this thing. Nothing. So there's speculation about it, and it's going to lead into what we're talking about next. In that some people are saying they didn't want to show off anything coming because they're playing up this role as like this like feeble like company that just can't do anything, and they need Activision to do so. So nothing from Bethesda, nothing from Microsoft, nothing, not a single thing. So it was interesting. But let's. You got anything else to add about the Game Awards?
Nah.
No, okay. We talked for quite a while about it, but this is a perfect segue then to talk about the other major news. The FTC is suing Microsoft to block the Activision Blizzard purchase. So this is a big deal. We kind of speculated. I mean, we've talked about this literally every week since this has started, and we've kind of speculated that this is going to happen. We're like, I don't know, maybe, yeah. And it is. So the FTC filed a legal challenge to try to block the sale. I'm going to just read some of this article from, what is this one from? The Verge, because they summed it up real nice. So they said the lawsuit was filed today after weeks of back and forth between Microsoft, Sony, and regulators over competition concerns and the future of Call of Duty. The FTC argues that the acquisition would enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content and cloud gaming business. Basically, what we've talked about before, that it just boils down to being bad for competition across the board. And, we've mentioned that a bunch of times, but some other things they said, let's see. This I thought was very important. Microsoft has already shown that it can and will withhold content from its gaming rivals. Today, we seek to stop Microsoft from gaining control over a leading independent game studio and using it to harm competition in multiple dynamic and fast-growing gaming markets. And that specifically talking about Redfall, Starfield, like these Bethesda games that they acquired that are only going to be on Xbox consoles. So right there, they're like, okay, this is precedent from the past. We don't expect it to be any different. And now, again, that's going to lead into something else. But let's just talk about it right now. Xbox struck a deal with Nintendo and Steam to have Call of Duty on their consoles for 10 years. To me, even before this FTC news came out, so that was announced first, the Nintendo thing, and I'm like, there's no way Call of Duty is going to run well on the Nintendo Switch. This is bullshit just to try to make it look like, hey, we're playing ball. We want to be friends with everybody. And I don't know. What was your thought?
Well, my thought is, we don't know that they're talking about mainline Call of Duty series. They could, I think, as we've talked in the past, be talking about Call of Duty Mobile. I think there's even another, lighter running Call of Duty game from a few years ago. The ones that are, mostly big in other regions. But Call of Duty Mobile would probably be great on the Switch. It'd be fun for a lot of people, and at least you get some sort of Call of Duty on the Switch.
How is it even going to work, though? How do you play with your friends on the Nintendo Switch? How do you have audio, voice chat in Call of Duty?
Yeah, that goes without saying. That'll be out.
Yeah, how do you have microtransactions within a Call of Duty game on the Nintendo? It's it doesn't make sense. I get that they're here, you guys could put Call of Duty on your thing for 10 years. But to me, it was this is an empty promise that they're we're playing ball. And then, because they even said in the same tweet where they're talking about this Nintendo thing, and they're Sony, any day you want to come to the table, we could sign our 10-year contract too. And it's I don't know. It just seemed like they knew the writing was on the wall about this specifically that last quote where I mentioned that they've shown that it can and will withhold content from its game rivals. They knew the FTC thought this, and they're No, look at Nintendo and PlayStation. We love everybody.
Yeah. But you know who
So
else does that? Nintendo, Sony, everybody.
yeah, yeah, everybody does it for sure. Just not on this grand a scale, you know.
Yeah.
But so comments then from, so we got some from Brad Smith. He's the Microsoft vice chair and president. He said, "We continue to believe that this deal will expand competition and create more opportunities for gamers and game developers. We have been committed since day one to addressing competition concerns, including by offering earlier this week proposed concessions to the FTC. While we believed in giving peace a chance, we have complete confidence in our case and welcome the opportunity to present our case in court." And then Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, he told staff in an internal memo that he wanted to reinforce his confidence that the acquisition will close. The allegation that this deal is anti-competitive doesn't align with the facts, and we believe we'll win this challenge. That's what he said. So it's heating up, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, we talked about it, I think, last week. Like, man, are we ever going to stop talking about this? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, even with this, the fact that Microsoft offered Sony Game Pass to be on their system, I feel like that is a linchpin in this conversation, because Sony could have said yes, but they said, nah, we'll do our own worst version of that.
Yeah, and I think I like that. I think that it's Sony. Sony has been playing very much hardball the other way because they're counting on this exact thing to happen. They wanted, they're hedging their bets that this is going to get blocked and that they'll be back to square one, back, aligned with this, and then they could do their own thing where they could be anti-competitive about something else,
Yeah.
But right now they're focused on this whole thing, because they have been the absolute loudest about this deal, and I feel like they've definitely perked some ears up to some concerns. So yeah, it's very interesting. But as far as this Nintendo thing goes, and it was even announced when they said, they're like, this is all based on, this merger going through, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know what's to stop Activision from continuing it. If it doesn't go through, I really don't know what the future holds for any of that if this
Right.
does fall through. But
Right. And even if it falls through, Sony's not above water yet, because, I mean, they've been making deals with Activision for Call of Duty burst or exclusives for years. So there's nothing keeping Microsoft from going to them and making a better deal anyway, and keeping, blocking Call of Duty from the PlayStation entirely if they pay enough money, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's possible. Everybody's starting to play a little bit more cutthroat in this thing, and it's getting exciting. But just being a fan of video games, who cares? That's where it's good. We're not fanboys here. We don't got a horse in this race. We just want to play good video games. All right, this is a long one. We got anything else you want to add?
Nah, not to that.
All right, let's pack it in. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. My name is Erector Red. You can find myself in full clip here on Fruit Lab. Go check out fruitlab.com. You can find tons of cool gaming clips from us and everybody else. This show is also there. You can watch it there. You can post content, earn some pips, make some money. What if you don't like money? Go to YouTube. Watch this on Pop Culture Playground. That's the name of the channel that this show is on. You can find some of my other stuff there. Or you can also check out Game Facts, GAMEFAX. That's full clip over here, posting some really cool stuff. He's also on Twitch, fullclip_FL. And then check out our TikTok, where we post some of the the fun snippets from every week's news. And podcast services everywhere. If you just want to listen to this show, if you don't want to look at these handsome boys and this awesome, all the stuff over here that I post. I don't know if it's over here, or wherever it is. But yeah, you could choose that version as well, the audio version. But yeah, I think that's everything. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.